How's it going, guys? It's Joe. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing 5v5 GAC. We're back. I'm quite happy to be back on 5v5 with double fleets, and we are up against Des Vega. So having a look at the stats here, guys, he's got about 600k GP more than me, although I do have the edge in the top 80 GP. So I moved up a bracket. However, I'm still up against 2.2 million GP. Tier 7s, I've got 3 more, and I do have a decent amount of lifetime banners more than this gent. Although looking at the rounds, I have the edge there as well, and ultimately looking at the roster and mods, we have about the same. However, in the mods section, he has 27 plus 20 speed mods. I do have the edge in the speed there, as well as the plus 15s and plus 10. He has 80 offensive plus 100. And looking at this gent's stats, I do believe he's making his way to Kyber at this stage. He does have Sith Eternal Emperor. And he has a decent amount of defensive holds as well. So he has Kylo and Sith Eternal Emperor at this point. Although I've got to say, he has a ton of relics, and that's probably what bumped him up to 2.2 at this point, because I do know a fair number, a couple of people that have a lean roster that can get away with 3 Galactic Legends in the 2.1 or 2.2. So having a look at the front walls here, he's got Night Sisters, Bounty Hunter, and First Order up at the top. And at the bottom, he does have Padme and Grievous. I do like utilizing CLS Rebels against Padme. Ever since 3PO and Chewie came out, CLS just made such a huge comeback, as he is so much more reliable. So we're going to stun Anakin to kick it off, and we're going to try and get rid of him as soon as we can. So the stun gets him out there. The main damage dealers that I find quite useful in these particular lineups are the AoEs from 3PO and Chewie, or OG Chewie, as I just find when you're utilizing your assist abilities, Padme typically increases their protection up. So really it's good being able to utilize the AoEs. And having Barriss Offee in this particular lineup as well allows for this team to constantly replenish their health as you're hitting them with critical attacks. So it's quite a tricky team. I've had it in the past where I've used Jedi Knight Revan and it hasn't worked out well. And I do believe there's a specific modding set there that's required for Grandmaster Yoda in order for that particular lineup to work. And currently I've got Grandmaster Yoda modded for more speed rather than offense. So I wasn't about to risk utilizing Jedi Knight Revan against this team. And conversely, I actually use Grandmaster Yoda under Padme these days up against Grievous lineups. So I try to get him to be the fastest. I steal the stealth and then I pass some protection up onto my team. I do have Barriss Offee here, as she is pretty decent under Padme as well. So we're going to increase more protection up here. We're targeting B2. See, Barriss Offee was able to produce a decent amount of damage on that basic with some courage stacks, and was able to drop the B2 Super Battle Droid. And really now we want to get rid of Newt Gunray, or at least drop him once and get him to revive and go for B1 as well, as he's fueling this team with constant health and protection replenish. I've also seen a lot of guilds and a lot of players utilize Shakti in this particular lineup as opposed to Ahsoka. I do find both lineups work quite well under Padme. The main premise is that you've got to be able to save your cleanses for when B2 Super Battle Droid applies ability block. And once we're here, it should be quite straightforward and easy. Get rid of Grievous. They're not the best in terms of banners, however I haven't had to utilize a much stronger team for that lineup. So in the back walls we've got Bugs and Mon Mothma. So it is week 1, round 1, guys, and I do find I like to get a better feel for things. So I start off with really heavy offensive lineups. And I suppose my opponent here decided to do the same and is going for the efficiency game. So now that we have established this, we will try to undersize as much as we can. Gas, I find, is quite a reliable counter to Night Sisters. As you all know, Gas's leadership doesn't allow for them to revive. And he just constantly counterattacks as well, so there's really not much strategy in this. He'll keep counterattacking, and we're going for old Daka. And I was really hoping to be able to drop these Night Sisters before the Spirit is able to drop Gas there the first time around. So it's quite unfortunate. And they did go for Rex. And we're losing a lot of health and protection. And we do lose 5s to that sacrifice, unfortunately. The other thing was, Gas is pretty much modded for offense and health at this point. So he doesn't take a ton of damage before he starts to sit down. And here's another undersized battle. I've got to say, I haven't had much experience utilizing Jedi Master Luke with undersizing or having to be able to use him on his own. As typically I find myself drawing out from other teams just to be able to make a team for Jedi Master Luke. Unlike the older Galactic Legends, Rey and Kylo, that had their clear-cut teams to utilize, which made more sense. And the other thing is, it's really difficult to get to Jedi Master Luke's ultimate ability. As you can see, I've got about half a bar at this point, but it's taking forever, and we're actually getting through this team, which is quite unfortunate, as I don't think we will get there. And really, it was a tough decision for me utilizing the ultimate ability materials for Jedi Master Luke's ultimate, as I actually thought of saving it for Sith Eternal Emperor. However, now that I've deviated and I've thought to myself, Sith Eternal Emperor can wait, I did decide to just use it on Jedi Master Luke. And this is one of the better use for Rey in terms of soloing. However, having Mando on the squad actually made me think twice, as he's doing a ton of damage. And although the Annihilate doesn't obliterate Ray, it does do so much damage. And with the speed of the bounty hunters after they've gotten their payouts, they're going to be constantly doing damage on Ray. Luckily towards the end here, I actually was able to utilize the ultimate ability on Ray. Although we're still pretty low on health and protection, being able to utilize her basics does a ton of damage as well. And really here, I'm just trying to regain a ton of health and protection, or at least max health, before the battle ends. So I'm just utilizing basics. We get the ultimate ability out there for 62 banners. Now, I've done this particular lineup with just Vader and Wat Tambor, and it has gone quite terrible for me in the past if the bugs are quite fast and if they have enough relics. So I did opt to place Malak here for assurance. And really it's the exact same strategy, and I try to cull the weakest bug that I see on the floor. Although this time I opted for Spy right away, as I knew he was the main threat. And really this probably could have worked without Malak. As I have remodded my Vader to be a bit faster, with speed sets rather than offense or crit damage. And I find that he still does apply a decent amount of damage with speed sets. "61 banners in that battle, and we did still save supremely to Kylo, so we're going to use that for Mon Mothma. So ultimately guys, pretty straightforward and easy GAC to begin with. We brought it down to the efficiency game, and I guess my opponent did also do his research, as he probably found that I had 3 Galactic Legends, as he only has 2. So thinking on that, I could have placed more Galactic Legends on defense. However, week 1, round 1, I do like to warm up a bit. So this gentleman actually placed his Negotiator on defense. And I do find that regardless of the starting lineup of that Negotiator squad, Separatists with Grievous are usually quite reliable. However, this is me deciding whether I needed a 6th ship in this battle. And really, I've placed all my bounty hunter ships, so I couldn't think of what other ship to place. So here I want to spread my buzz droids. I did try to stun the BLT there, however it didn't work out. We've got 3 buzz droids on Anakin. And we're gonna use our AoE on Anakin yet again. Get him down to the red. Spread more buzz droids on those tanks. And this should drop Anakin here on this basic. Once we bring out Spy, we've got a Force Taunt on 5s. And we quickly drop BLT as well. And we're able to drop the Clone Sergeant before the Negotiator actually takes a turn. So just while we're utilizing Negotiator here in the background, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on Relic 8. As I do find that the materials to gain Relic 8 are quite expensive in terms of pay to play, and being able to gain them through the Rancor raid is quite a tough battle, as well as I actually honestly dislike fighting it out with guildmates in order to achieve more relics. Hopefully CG does change this in the future, as ultimately it's going to be a tough grind, as a lot of my guildmates have quite a solid roster and are able to dish out much more damage on that Rancor. So ultimately, guys, this is my final score. I'm still waiting on my opponent to get started. I did place this in the front walls, Grievous and Luke with some Jedi. And I do find having Luke on defense to be quite reliable. It does hold here and there. And I find that if the opponent doesn't utilize a Galactic Legend in that particular team, that it can hold. Did have these ships on defense. Now it did take a while for my opponent to start attacking, and I do believe it was just about an hour left in the battle and he started attacking. And he one-shot everything, although he wasn't very efficient, frankly. And in the ships is where I got my holds. As he attacked my Millennium Falcon first, I do believe, or my Akbar. And that was all she wrote. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.